Well, hello there, beautiful. It's Kylie Patchett here. Welcome to the Wild and Finally Pecking Free podcast. I deeply believe that the years during and beyond perimenopause are a rite of passage. All of a sudden, we find ourselves on the precipice of a life transition where our brain literally rewires and runs out of fucks to give. We find ourselves shifting identity, no longer caring what other people think, and being invited to expand into new ways of being. Here, we share the real and raw stories from women who've been through deep midlife metamorphosis, taken a leap of faith, or broken the ties that bind us in patterns of staying small, stuck, and like our needs just don't matter. This is the midlife medicine you didn't even know you needed. Stories full of joy, despair, freedom, courage, and deep self-honoring. I am so glad you found us. Welcome. Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of the Wild and Finally Fucking Free podcast. I have got an absolute freaking treat for you. This woman is already dancing, people, already dancing. I would love to welcome to the podcast the beautiful Samantha Leith. How are you?
I'm very well today.
Yay. Very cool. Very cool. I'm loving Sam's just redesigned, redecorated, removed her office. So she has this spectacular white and black backdrop behind her with the words "Be Extraordinary" on it, which is exactly what you actually bring to the world. So do you want to introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, how long have we got?
Well, we've got an hour, but we could do many episodes.
Okay. So I won't use the whole thing to introduce myself then. So I'm a single mum. I'm a business owner, coach, speaker, Kiwi. Then I swam over the ditch. And I really, I'm here to tell people they can be extraordinary. That is my thing. So I love being on stage and just getting that message through to people that life should be an extraordinary experience for all of us. So do whatever it freaking takes to make that happen.
Oh, I love it. I love it. When I think about you, I was feeling into our interview before, and I'm like, when I think of you, I always have a big grin on my face. There's always a pearl of wisdom, but the pearl of wisdom is delivered in this like spectacular, like, song and dance, like, so that even if it's something that's like whacking you upside the head, you're actually saying it in a way that's like, oh, that's right. Be lighthearted, be extraordinary, be, big and bold and luscious with what you're creating for yourself. So very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And I feel like we're going to have a choose your own adventure conversation because I'm just going to I'm going to read your answer. So I always ask my guests, which big leap do you want to talk about? And here's Sam's answer. So this is where we choose our own adventure. So her answer was getting over what I call the numb years, in inverted commas, and creating the business I actually wanted. And then she adds as an afternote, just the little things like shedding 50 kilos, being diagnosed with ADHD, rediscovering sex, and so much more. And I'm like, really? Okay. Every single one of them feels enormous to me. So where do you want to start? What do you want to focus on in our time together?
You know what? I think the numb years is where to start. So that was a period in my life where I was doing the things I needed to do, the expectations. I was a single mum from pregnancy, and then I had to stop doing what I loved, which was singing and being on stage, and because I had to be sensible, and I had this, prove to the world what a great single mum I am. So I had to buy a place by the time she was 1, and I was like, all this stuff I had to tick. And none of it was actually what I really wanted to do. So although I'd struggled with my weight all my life, I was at Jenny Craig at 12, I put on an exorbitant amount of weight in that period. And then when my daughter was 6, my father died, my mother died, and my brother died, and my mother had a massive stroke all within a 6-month period. So then I went into this other world of having to care for a child and my mother. Yes. So then the list of things I had to do to be that sensitive carer person got bigger, and I went further down the totem pole. And sadly, my mother passed away 6 years ago now. And I would literally probably say from my daughter's birth to her being 11, were my numb years. I was just doing correct myself, what I thought was expected.
Yes.
No one actually said, Samantha Mary, you need to do X, Y, and Z. It's all the shit I'd made up in my own head. And I stopped. I actually had a gastric sleeve a couple of years before Mum died because I thought, she's getting really sick. I can't do to my daughter. And this was truly my thinking. I can't do to my daughter what my mother's done to me because she didn't look after her health. So I took control of my health and dropped that weight. But that was the only thing I did to change my life. And then when she passed away, I was like, I can swear, right?
Yeah, of course. Please do.
Like, fuck this. I haven't drowned my daughter. She's okay. She's doing really good at school. How about now I actually get rid of that list of things I thought I had to do and decide, I don't know, for myself. So I went on a TV show as a judge, and that kind of set off a roller coaster of, oh my God, I forgot life's really fun.
Yeah.
And so then I was on a TEDx stage talking about sex because I spent a year bonking, and then I was like, my daughter watches those videos. You're like, oh, you're my mother.
Please, Mum, stop
and
talking.
I just kept going. Please stop talking. Please stop talking. My friends see this. And I just kept going. And now that few years later, I haven't looked back and I haven't changed. And I'm not, my list, I still have lists. I'm always going to have a list. I like a good list. But my lists have changed, and my lists are now more directed towards what I feel rather than what I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever articulated like that, but yeah, what I feel rather than what I think.
Yeah, because when we get all stuck up in our head, it's all about the shoulds and the expectations and the stories we have about what, and I'm using air quotes for every single one. I realize, you're listening to a podcast, you can't hear the air quotes, but the good mother, the good single mother, the spectacular single mother, let's, prove a point here. But unfortunately, when we get stuck up in our heads, all the fucking stories that we have pull us away from how we want to feel in our heart. Like they're exactly the opposite.
Those lists that we kind of tick of expectations of society or our family or our friends, they don't give a shit. No. They don't have the same list.
No.
They've got their own list. So they're not going, oh my God, did you see what Sam did? Wow. They didn't even notice.
Well, actually they are. They're saying, did you see what Sam did? But they're like, wow, like wowed, wowed by it, not like, oh, judgy. Do you know what?
It was my daughter's 17th birthday last week, and spectacular party as usual. And I wore this amazing jumper, and it says, fancy fucker. And all friends were walking in going, yes, you are. And I was like,
yes, I am.
Oh, rich.
I love, that's actually one of the beautiful, extraordinary things that I love about the way that you live is celebrating is such an important part of what you do. So when it's your daughter's birthday, there's no holds barred. When it's a friend's birthday, when you're like even I was down in Sydney, I came to your house to have lunch just recently, and it was like a celebration and a warm hug of like, come into Sam's zone and be, welcomed and taken care of and celebrated. And that's, it's such a gift that you have. I had something in my head when you were saying Samantha Mary with the, the to-do list. Now I want there to be, I'm going to make a meme out of this somehow, a fairy godmother version of that. And it's Samantha Mary. Go and be fucking fabulous. That's your to-do list. So let's go back a bit to, because I'm really relating to the mother and the caring role. So I've taken care of people my entire life. I took care of my mum as a kid. I took care of my dad when he was dying. I've taken care of 2 kids with chronic health conditions, blah, blah, blah. Like there's been a lot of that story in my life as well. And I definitely relate to that being, exactly what you said, lower and lower down the totem pole to the point where you're so disconnected from your own needs, you don't even know what the fuck you need anyway. So don't even bother asking me, right? So how does Samantha in the numb years feel internally? Like what is the internal environment if we could just take a snapshot? Can you remember?
I didn't let myself feel.
Mm.
And that's why I call it the numb years. And when people talk about buffering or using things to quelch their feelings, whether it be smoking or alcohol or drugs or cake or whatever.
Food.
And
put my hand up.
Apart from the smoking, I did all of those.
Yeah.
But I never actually let anything get probably to the surface enough before I numbed it.
Yeah.
So I went through a few years earlier. At 21, I had a suicide attempt, and at 11, I had a suicide attempt. And through both of those times, I really let myself feel. And I think I was almost in those years where I was treading water and ticking boxes, too scared to feel, because, oh, my God, that will have me either trying to hang myself on the mast on the boat or taking a big whacking overdose.
Yeah.
And I wasn't depressed. So it's if I try and explain it to people and that they're like, oh, so were you depressed? Should you have, been on antidepressants and seen a psychiatrist? And I was like, I did see counselors and coaches and psychiatrists. I'm a believer in no matter who you are in life, I think we all need a mental health professional in our back pocket 99.9% of the time.
Yep.
But I didn't actually let myself get to that point throughout those years. It would bubble. I was probably like 2 years between crying.
Yeah. Amazing, hey.
And no one knew. I didn't know. So until I came out on the other side, I was like, oh.
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it's like I'd be angry but not express it or feel it, or even I wouldn't know how to say to someone, you've pissed me off, because I wouldn't allow myself to think it. I'd go, there's this bubbling kind of sensation and I feel a bit, I don't like it, so I'm going to work. I'm going to do something for someone else, or I'm going to read a book, or I'm going to eat ice cream, or I'm going to do something. But I didn't feel.
It's amazing. Hey, when you were saying before, like, all these sort of numbing activities that people talk about, like the drugs, sex, alcohol, whatever your addiction is, shopping, me, definitely food, and putting my hand up for that one. It's that, it's like, or for me, my experience is I didn't have the level of trust that I have now in myself, that when feelings do come up, that they'll come up and they'll feel like shit and then they pass. So there's actually no need to be trying not to feel them, and, really relating to what you're saying. So when you come out the other side and you look backwards and go, okay, I didn't realize that was happening. I was running on automatic pilot, and you gave yourself permission to feel. What precipitated, like, the year of sex, the rediscovering who Sam is and what Sam wants? How did you even go about that? Like, where did you start? Okay, she's laughing. I'm going to love this answer.
Okay, I do know where it started. It started being on an app and chatting to a couple of people and thinking, because I was very clear. I also threw my fiance out at that same period.
Yes, you did.
About a month after. Thank God for that, because, oh, my God, I was trying to save my father again. Who would have it? And I was like, I've always had a high sex drive. Even at my heaviest, I liked sex. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, well, now what do? And a lot of my friends are gay men, and no stereotypes. I'm not doing that kind of thing, but most of them have pretty good sex lives, because there's this freedom about it. And I was like, why can't I do that? And I was like, oh, well, if you do that, you get labelled as a tart or a slut, and you can't sleep with anyone without them thinking you want to move in the next week or have babies, and you're a lesbian, the truck's going to arrive any minute, and like, it was just all of these thoughts in my mind about that kind of thing. I was like, no, I can do this. So I went on an app and I asked a couple of friends and was like, well, should I go on if I, just want to bonk?
Yes.
And
there should be an app that's just called Just Bonking. Sure.
Just Bonking. Yeah, actually, let's do that. But not bonk, do the app. And so the cat kind of gave me like, go on, try this one or this. And I was like, okay. And so I did. And the very first time I kind of just arranged to meet someone, and I was petrified because I knew it was just going to be like this 4 or 5 hour window in this, swanky hotel room. And I told them my favorite champagne, so he had to bring that and, all that kind of stuff. And you would probably never speak to each other afterwards.
Yeah.
And happened. Sex was okay. It wasn't amazing. But it was like, oh, hang on a second. I made a list of what I wanted to do in this 4 hours, and we did it.
Magic.
And I don't feel bad about myself. I'm not expecting him to call. That wasn't too bad. And then I was like, so then I started going, what else do I want? What else do I feel like? And it sort of changed from just being about the sex thing. And I literally spent a year ticking things off my to-do list on that. But I started doing it in other areas of my life. It's like, okay, well, I've been asked to go to this party. Do I want to go? No, I don't want to go.
Oh, my God, there's so much gold in this, because what I'm hearing you say is the things that I would say to a client about getting real with your desire and actually being unapologetic about it and then going and making it fucking happen is basically what you're saying in different words. So in one act of like, let's get this sex back on and dive back into this side of myself, which is, deeply fulfilling for me, you actually had this realization where you're like, oh my God, I actually literally just dialed up my list, got my list and moved on. Like, holy shit.
And it can be like, I vividly remember the day my daughter said to me, Mum, I just ate some of those mushrooms at dinner. I went, yeah. And she went, they were really good. I was like, yeah. And she went, I never really eat them because Max told me they were slimy and yucky. And it's like, until we actually try things or not have that notion of what someone else has said about something, we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so true.
I like Brussels sprouts. Call me weird.
I like Brussels sprouts too. We must be the only two humans on the planet.
Possibly.
I have this again. This so much visual stuff going on in this interview. So I've got this vision of Sam at the smorgasbord of life, and you're just like snacking through. Like, have a try of this. Does this taste good? Nah, spit it back out. Oh, more of that, please. Like, just understanding actually what you want. How does it feel? Do I like that feeling?
So there's a quote that is one of my all-time favorite quotes in the whole entire planet. And we're not going to get into the argument of who was better. Was it Rosalind Russell or Lucille Ball? But Auntie Mame said, life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death.
That's so true. Oh my God. I love it. That's so good.
So yeah, life is a banquet. That's and it's even with ADHD, I think it makes it even more. So it's like, try this. Right shiny object. Definitely. Like, I've tried lots of different businesses and lots of different colored hair.
Yeah.
Because why not?
And why not? That's the energy that I feel, though, when I'm around you and when I think of you, is that playful, lighthearted, like there is actually no wrong move. Like there isn't a wrong move. There's a move towards something, you try it and it doesn't feel good, so you just pivot or change or whatever. What else then opened up after you realized that you could freaking just write a list of like, what the hell do I desire? What's been something really surprising about what you actually have found that you enjoy?
Ooh. I think the most surprising thing for me is over this couple of years in trying different things, especially with my business and life, is that, and I still kind of find it hard to admit, but I realized and I understood by doing all these different things like my 365 days of Facebook Lives and my show and all those things is that I'm freaking smart. And
yes, you are. Damn straight.
I do have things to say to people, and I shouldn't ever, I hate that word should, but we all do it. feel afraid or scared to put something out there because maybe thought I was 10 years too late, or I'm not as pretty, or I haven't had as big a launches, or blah, 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 blah. Like, no, there's, that whole, some people don't like peaches, like just be who you're meant to be.
Exactly.
And this, even to give you an example, I've put on weight this year for the first time in years. And I'm actually doing a whole lot of medical tests because no matter what I'm doing, I'm getting puffier and puffier, and it's driving me bonkers. And having this conversation with my daughter about it, because I've spent her entire life not making a big deal about weight. And as a kid growing, she'd go out and then up and out and up because that's what kids do.
Exactly.
And she never saw me go on really strict diets or go, food is bad or anything like that. I was just like, that's a sometimes food. And talk to her about my struggles with weight a lot. None of them putting on her. So talking to her over the last couple of days about what I'm going through and really explaining that, I'm doing this podcast with you today. I'm on video. I don't give a flying hoo-flung dung if you think, Sam, you're looking a little puffy. You've got a little bit of weight.
Hey gorgeous, we interrupt this gold for a delicious invitation. If your whole body has been whispering more lately, more voice, more truth, more satisfaction, more clients of the soulmate variety, more cash, more you, then this invitation is for you. Potent, my sister mind is officially open. This is my high touch, holy fuck, I'm ready sister mind for rebels in good girl clothing who are done outsourcing their power and diluting their magic to fit into someone else's business formula. If you have been craving a space where your strategy, your voice, and your energy all get to be offered, honored, refined, and amplified, this is it. Inside of Potent, you'll get my eyes on your business every single week, copy mentoring, and that is for brand copy and content storytelling that turns your truth into client catnip, energetic recalibration that helps you unhook old learned limitation patterns, keeping you quiet, not being seen, not being heard, real-time, high-touch, one-on-one coaching that actually sees the bigness of your vision, and the kind of sisterhood that does not flinch when you show up in your full, messy, brilliant, phoenix rising from the ashes glory. This isn't surface level support. It's deep, potent, paradigm shifting work that changes who you are as a woman in business and a woman in life. We start in August. Early open access is open right now. For the month of June 2025, inside of this early access open doors period, you will receive juicy bonuses, extended payment plans, and access immediately to my entire library of storytelling gold. You'll find all the juicy details at kyliepatchett.com/potent. And we fill spaces, and there's only 10 of them, and more than likely only 5 by the time you listen to this, because by that time I will have offered them to the existing cohort, the beautiful original OG circle. We do actually take applications on a first come, first served basis. So come and apply, and let's get back to the magic of the episode.
But I feel uncomfortable. And that's the difference. So,
interesting.
And my whole life, about every choice I made and every diet I went on, I would kind of lie to myself, I want to get fitter because I want to be fitter. It was bullshit. I was like, wanted to fit into something. I actually thought I was okay. I just wanted to be accepted. I would look in a mirror and see someone tall, thin, and glamorous, and then I'd see a photo and go, what the fuck? Who's that person? That's not me. I don't look like that. Do I look like that? Like I swore I had reverse anorexia.
Yeah.
And or whatever, body dysmorphia.
Yeah,
and
reverse.
totally in the reverse. So it's really interesting now being at this place like, no, actually, and again, it's that feeling and thinking thing. I feel uncomfortable. I don't like how things are fitting for me at the moment. I got COVID really badly earlier in the year. My fitness just, and my heart went stupid. And anyway, back on track. But I'm like, I'm doing it for me because I want to, because I like myself, how I feel at this certain way and was doing certain things. So everyone else can stuff off.
Yeah, exactly. And just reflecting back to you, like, not once have I thought, man, Sam looks puffy. What I've been
thinking is, I love that green on you. I love the cool earrings. I wish I had the spunk to carry off that hairdo, because I totally do not have that sort of spunk. Mind you, my hair would never look like that because it's out of control.
I wish I had your curls.
That's what everyone said. But yeah, I think what you're tapping into is, it's how we feel. So it's not actually about any of the surface stuff. It's not about, so I think for anyone listening who is saying to themselves, like, I feel deeply uncomfortable in myself or in my life, this is your freaking invitation to actually get real with what you want to create for yourself. Because there's
no
limit.
Step of doing that is to stop lying to yourself.
Yes, exactly.
That's the very, very first step in any of that.
Yep, absolutely.
I could easily be going, I could easily be going, I've got this event on and I've got to look better for that. That's a lie. I know I've got enough force to look good at that event.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm lying. I'm making it external. It's, you know, and we do that about can I tell you a funny story? This is a very funny story. People will probably laugh. In my heaviest days, I was obsessed with me dying in a car accident and people going to my house and finding junk food or what I'd eaten in the rubbish. I was obsessed with it.
Okay.
So I didn't care if I died and my parents came over to unpack my house and they found vibrators or love letters or anything like that. That didn't bother me. But I would like eat a chocolate mousse and I'd take the rubbish downstairs in my apartment and put it in someone else's bin.
Wow.
In case when I left the next day, I had a car crash and someone would come to my house. Like, that was the extent to which I was lying about how I felt about myself.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be dead. I don't think my parents would care if I was eating chocolate mousse.
I think they're going to be last thing on their list, Sam.
I know, like I was nearly 140 kilos. People knew I ate the freaking chocolate mousse.
Yeah, exactly. What did I think I was hiding?
It's just, so the minute we could go, oh my God, lie, handsome fire about ourselves, and then go, what is the truth about what I'm thinking and feeling and doing? Then we get to go up to that banquet and go, I love a little bit. Now I've got that song, a little bit of monkey, a little bit. I don't know the words, can never remember lyrics. World's worst thing on that regard. And do that. But we can't do that if we're not honest about what we're doing, how we're feeling, and what we're thinking. Nothing works without that.
Let me ask you this then, because I totally agree. And I often will ask this question, what are you really called to do in the world? Or simpler, how do you want to feel? And at least 50% of the time, the person that I'm talking to, clients, friends, anyone actually, I just had a conversation with a friend at a coffee shop this morning, same sort of thing, and they actually don't know or say they don't know. How would you respond?
You do know.
Exactly.
You've known for years and years and years. You just haven't let yourself acknowledge it or seek it, because if we were to tell people our wildest dreams about what we thought we were on this planet to do, we got taught from a really young age that people would go, "Are you kidding? Who do you think you are, Brad Pitt?" So we're too afraid to, but we can't expect any of it to happen or for us to feel the way we feel unless we're honest about that.
Exactly. I'm rereading a book that's next to me called We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. And because I really enjoyed the reflection questions that she asked. And one of the things, I've just got to, I think, chapter 3 or something. And she says, if you were a bad girl, what would you do? And to me, that's such a powerful question, because I definitely have conditioning on what being like you use the word sensible when we first, started talking. And yeah, I have been a sensible, good girl, people pleaser / carer for my entire life, up until just recently, where I've just gone, you know what, fuck that. I am not available for that shit anymore, because none of that is about who I am inside. None of it is about birthing my gifts to the world. None of it is about being honest. And when we're not honest with ourselves, there's no way that we can have true intimacy and connection with anyone else in our lives, because they're not even seeing the real us. So
I think back about all the people I've dated in my life and had those kind of intimate relationships with.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go out with me.
Mm-mm.
They didn't.
No.
And, a couple of them I'm actually still friends with, which is great. But so they've seen a kind of a metamorphosis of me being, not that I'm a different person, I'm just more me,
Yeah.
But I find that bizarre, that people dated Sam, 1.0 and 1.5 and, God knows what am I up to, 4.8. I'm not 48, I'm 4.8. 4.8,
I love it.
That's my new thing. I love it.
It's so much better than 47.5. Thank you. I'll be 4.75. I love it.
My operating system has just been upgraded.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God. So much to say about you treating midlife as an upgrade rather than a downgrade or a diminishment or whatever. Something that you just reminded me of when you're talking about partners didn't know you, that can be like every single area of life. So potentially our kids, well, actually, let's just scratch the word potentially. Our kids don't know the real us. Our partners don't know. Our parents don't know. Our friends don't know. If we're in business, our clients don't know. The ripple of not being true to who you actually are and what you really want and what you're meant to be delivering to the world affects every single relationship. And that to me is the deepest, I think, like joy and magic about where I find myself at the moment, where I'm very, very consciously going, I'm not actually available for this, and this. Like my list keeps on growing, is that there's this exquisite expansion of the connections in my life because I'm actually just being myself. And I'm just like, fucking all along, I have had this story from childhood, and like I'm an only child. I have a lot of good evidence to say I need to do everything myself. So very difficult to ask for support, receive support, properly connect with friends, have true intimacy in any relationships. And now I'm like, I'm not available for that shit anymore. I'm like, oh my God, I've been stealing away all this juice and joy and deliciousness in my life because I've been believing a story that is completely, absolutely bullshit. I feel a little bit ripped off, I'm not going to lie. But, okay, so when you started...
And on that...
go.
With that, feeling a little bit ripped off, I totally get that. And I have those moments. Very similar upbringing to you. I wasn't an only child. I've got 9 siblings, but I'm an only child. To massive age gaps. But I essentially spent most of my childhood alone with my parents and a lot of it on a yacht.
Yep.
And my father was an alcoholic and blah, 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 blah. Whole lot of crap. And so I was looking after myself and an adult from a very young age, and then looking after my parents because he was drunk and mum was at work, or he was at work and mum was having a meltdown, or same kind of thing. And I have gone through those phases, especially as they passed away, of going, like, it just wasn't fair, like it wasn't fair that I was told by my biggest sister that I'd ruined her teenage years because she had to babysit me. And it wasn't fair that, this happened, and it wasn't fair that I had to pay my mum's mortgage because she didn't have the money, and none of that was fair. But then I go, well, hang on. Now I really like myself. And all of that experience and those bad decisions I made and the good decisions I made and all of that crap has made me who I am, and I like me. So I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. If I could
that's true. Yeah.
If I could do it 10 years earlier, don't get me wrong, that would be so much better. But, I write in my journal every day, I live an extraordinary life to 100. So I've got 52 years to go.
Exactly. That's what I keep on saying. 100 is my end point as well. My dad got to 91. I figure there's at least 9 more years of medical advancement available in these times.
Yeah, my dad got to 92 and a half, and he was still smoking up until 6 months before he died. And they put him on patches in the nursing home. So he's been smoking for 81 years.
Holy
and I was
crap.
like, it's the patches that killed him.
He'd still be here.
He'd still be here for those bloody patches.
Oh my God.
But yeah, constitution or not. So I'm with you. Yeah, I easily got another few years.
The longevity thing. I think you're right. I feel like I feel ripped off in the fact that, yes, I would have loved to have had these realizations earlier, but I also do have a deep conviction that you can trust in the timing of your life. And also there is so much power in the pain. So it's like all of that painful stuff informs who we are, who we become, what we're meant to be doing in the world, etc. So yes, I definitely can see both sides.
And I don't think our kids will have this. I don't think our kids will have the same experience. I think because, especially for women like you and I who are openly talking about this kind of stuff, and the more men that are openly talking about this kind of stuff, our kids, can come to us at 7 and go, feeling a bit twitchy. Is this anxiety? I'm a bit stressed about going to this. I didn't know what the word stress was at 7.
God, no.
So I think, it might take us to 40 in our 40s to get there, but our kids are going to snapshot. They'll have sorted that crap out much earlier.
That is true. That is very true. Except not our 40s, our 4-point years is what we mean.
Yeah.
I'm so down with that.
I can't believe I haven't heard that before. I'm like, I'm in.
I love it. It's like, because, upgrading to 5.0 sounds really cool compared to being at 4.7.
Yeah. Oh, you're still on 3. You need a new operating system.
Exactly. Geez, get a grip on the upgrades. Okay, let's go down the ADHD rabbit hole for a bit, because I absolutely love watching your journey, pivoting and snacking on things, and you've got so many different things that fill you up as a person. So you're a performer, you're a coach, you're a keynote speaker, you're this absolutely amazing mum, you're the celebrator, you're the bringer together, all of these things and many, many more, obviously, goes without saying. And one of the things that I relate to is the continually, try before you buy. That's a bad analogy, but you know what I mean. Snacking on life, seeing what, feels good, etc. One of the stories I've had about myself is that if I just was able to stick at something, I would be much further ahead, air quotes. So what difference in your self-image, if any, or what did it change when you actually were diagnosed with ADHD? Talk about that sort of relating to yourself end of things.
Changed so much. I almost think if I was going to say that this journey out of the numb years into being Sam 4.8, I think the ADHD diagnosis was the final box that had to be ticked.
Yeah.
And you go through a process of it. So I was 47 when I was diagnosed, and I got diagnosed because people started asking if my daughter had it. And I was like, no, she can sit still for hours. Don't be ridiculous. And she's smart. And then going down the road of diagnosis with her and discovering, okay, so what I think ADHD is and what it is, very different things.
Very different, yes.
And then I was talking to one of my good friends, Janice Duffield-Thomas, and I said, she was starting to talk about, she was on the journey of being diagnosed. And she was like, of course you've got it, Sam. Don't be ridiculous. I was like, well, do I? And then I remembered it. Like, okay. She says so. And then I remembered a psychiatrist I saw as Mum was passing away, saying to me in one of our sessions, so have you ever been diagnosed with ADHD? And I got on my high horse and I was like, don't be ridiculous. I had an academic scholarship at school and I was a successful single mom and I bought my own house and I'm my own business and I can sit still and I've never done anything naughty. And she was like, okay, well, clearly we're not going to discuss this right now.
Yes, clearly this is a no-go zone.
No-go zone.
No-go zone.
So when I was having conversations with people, I said, maybe I do need to look at this. So then I, went down the Google rabbit hole of like, ooh, what does it mean? What does it mean? I'm like, okay. What did that? And so I couldn't get an appointment, and I was ringing, and she had like an 18-month waiting list. I was like,
oh Lord.
And I rang every day. Hi, it's Sam. Just wondering if there's been any cancellations today. And finally one day her receptionist said, oh my God, there's a 10 o'clock cancel. It's in 20 minutes. Can you get here? And I went, I'll be there.
Yes.
And I walked in, she was like, oh, you want to talk about it now, do you? And so we went through the 5,000 checklists, because it's such a, as you know, it's such a process to get diagnosed.
Yes, it is.
And I think I literally ticked every box apart from the irritability and the physicality that goes with ADHD diagnosis for some people. Every other box, and things that I thought I was really organized about, like you commented on my earrings before. Like I get home and I take my jewelry off, and these 2 earrings will go in an organza bag, and then I have all the organza bags in these drawers. And I used to be like, and my CDs were alphabetized, and my books were organized, and everything would, don't even get started on my pantry. I was like, I just organized like my father. I was like, no, it was because I lost them.
Yes.
If I didn't put them in a bag, I lost them. I lost my wallet. I lost my keys. I lost my homework. I lost like so much stuff. I was always the kid that, oh my God, if Smith just paid attention, she'd do so much better.
Yes,
I've got verbal diarrhea right now. Classic sign, maybe my meds have worn off. And when I used to say to people, when I die, my tombstone is going to say, here lies the girl who could have, or here lies almost, because of the sheer number of things I had started in my life and never finished.
Yep. Oh my God, I relate to that so much.
I want to be cremated, not have a tombstone. But that was just forefront of my mind, was that's all anyone's ever going to say to me is I never did what I could do because I never let myself get to the end.
Yeah.
And having the diagnosis was like this cloud of forgiveness lifting over me, going, oh, that's why I didn't finish anything. Now I understand why I buy an online course and I go in and it's set out boring, and I just like,
I can't do it.
Hello, I'm done. Bye. Don't care if it just cost me $2,000. And I could be angry about the money I've wasted. I'm like, no, whatever, it's happened. But I think it's a bit of a superpower, to be honest, if we use it properly. But it does still definitely have its downsides. But it's given me, I do think it was that final piece of, now I know who I am.
I love how you say a cloud of forgiveness, because I'm very early in, I think I was diagnosed about 2 months ago. I was having a good giggle when you were saying about Denise saying, of course you do, because, fast forward a year, I'm heading to your place and you're talking to Denise and she's like,
of course you do.
Of course Kylie has ADHD. And I'm like, what the fuck? How did everyone else know? And I didn't. I'm like the last to know about my own diagnosis. But I had a similar experience, and I'm definitely in the middle of, I don't think I've got to the cloud of forgiveness stage. I'm still kind of, I don't know, I'm a bit discombobulated about some of the things that I don't sort of relate to with the even, the more female version of ADHD. But now that you're saying about because I was saying to the psychiatrist that I went to, I'm like, there's no way I can have ADHD because I'm so freaking organized. But you're right, I'm organized, because if I'm not organized, I lose track of things. So even I was saying to him, but no, I put everything into Asana, like everything I do in my life, project management software, everything I do. Like there's a board for my business, a board for my family, a board for my stepdad who I'm, taking care of, a board for the kids, a board. And he's just like, yeah, that's just a really great coping mechanism that your intellect and your, need to mask your ADHD has come up with. And so where I'm at the moment is this realization that a lot of the things that I did that I believed meant that I didn't have ADHD was so fucking exhausting, because I had raging ADHD, but I was just trying to show, or not show the world that I didn't, because I didn't even have that concept, but just to be organized and controlled and, safe, I want to say. There's a lot of that sort of safe sort of thing.
Because otherwise we just didn't get stuff done.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been a queen of checklists my entire life.
Yep.
When I pack to go overseas, I post photos of on Instagram. It's hilarious. I have my outfits laid out on the dining room table with 2 outfits on either side, and in between it are the shoes that go with both outfits and the jewelry.
Yeah.
And I do that because I once went away and had no shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or the other thing I do is I have 20 pairs of shoes but no underwear.
No, but you can buy new ones. That's all.
You can buy new ones. Yes, much cheaper than buying new shoes.
When I first started coaching and speaking, I was doing business systemization.
Yes.
Because I was so good I'd spent my whole life creating systems and processes for doing things so I could actually do things.
Yeah.
Checklists from shopping list and blah, blah, blah. And COVID, the wheels fell off every single system and process I'd set up to cope with shit. Gone. Gone at a flaming, like, feel like the Phoenix in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Poof.
The Phoenix comes back though. That's the good news.
Oh, you could hear.
Oh dear. What has the diagnosis helped you? So the cloud of forgiveness, when come back to the comment you said about superpowers, because I definitely feel like, yes, there's things that are challenging about having ADHD, but there's also this incredible depth of, inspiration and ideation and being able to pull things together. So how does that feel for you? How does that inform you being able to help people be extraordinary?
So for me, it's things like, it's been another notch in the knowing myself better. So today, for example, I know I have to have that morning time for myself, and I shout that from every rooftop. And then when I get into work mode, I do it like as soon as I know my medication's kicked in. And I do take medication. I don't think I'd be where I'm a year later if I hadn't. No. So I do that really concentrated. I've got to sit down and like this sales page has got to get done, or this has got to get done, or oh my God, I've got to do my accounts. Like I do that stuff like bang, 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 bang. And then I know that if I've done that, I can then allow myself to go into those more creative spaces and maybe write something for filming, or do some content, or have lunch, or organize a birthday party, or do something that's a bit more I don't want to use the left brain, right brain thing, because I think it's all bullshit. I do think we have like a combo of both of them. We just have strengths in one of them. But I think one of the greatest superpowers about ADHD, which I recognize in myself and in most of the female entrepreneurs that I know that have it, is the ADHD has given us this huge connection between our left brain and our right brain. And because we've been so good at masking those symptoms our entire lives, it gives us the flexibility to adapt and change in pretty much any situation. And if you're an extrovert like me, I think it's also amped my extrovertedness up another notch, so that like I know I'm, one of the people that are walking this planet that can walk into any room in any language in any country in the world and have a conversation with someone and feel comfortable and it be okay, because I've got the 10 mirror balls in my brain with those little projects I've done a little bit of, and I've read that cooking book, and I once was interested in that. So I do know a bit about real estate and because that's all in there, it's like a catalog. It is. It totally is like a catalog. And people with ADHD should probably go on those game shows where you have to have lots of general knowledge. Yes. But I can't spell because that's too formulaic.
Oh, see, I can spell, but I can't type. So maybe if you type and I spell, we'll be okay. I've never had to touch type. Oh my God, so many spelling mistakes in my life. Anyway, not spelling, typing mistakes. Oh, so funny, so funny. I think this is just reminding me of such a big theme that's running through these interviews, is just knowing yourself, so that then you have this gateway of actually owning who you are and loving all the bits, all the bits and pieces that make up you. And the deep gold in that, because like we were saying before, if we're not being our true self, and I feel like I'm going through this process before, and you use similar language, like I imagine is it the Statue of David? I never get this right. But Michelangelo said that he like carved away what wasn't the.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in that for myself. It's like, oh no, that's not actually true for me anymore.
Okay.
That's a story. That's a whatever. But yeah, there's that deep, like I happen to think I'm pretty fucking cool. And that this is the journey, I think, of midlife, is like we spend our 20s and 30s trying to fit in, do the right thing or whatever. And, you know, some people come to this realization way, way earlier, but there's definitely a changing. And I always describe it in our brains as like our brains are literally rewiring to give zero fucks. Like that's what it comes down to. And so then it's like, well, I've got no excuses not to be myself. So why don't I just go out there and shine?
No.
Which is, such a beautiful
and it
thing.
impacts everything. Like I know people who've seen me on stage or have been to my house, they know like I've got the glam room and it's all the sequins and the high heels and, you know, shoes that say fuck, you know. And I always had those things for stage Sam. Like that was even from a really young age, I would put on that persona when I got on stage and it would be all glam and makeup and tits and ass. And the last couple of years where I've gone through all this stuff and I've stopped being able to listen, or stopped hearing, stopped acknowledging, stopped caring about those people that said, oh, you know, if you're just going to be a singer, you're going to be too big for your boots, and oh, you're wearing sequins again, you're such a show off, those kind of things. Like, no, I freaking like sparkles.
Yeah.
And if I want to wear sparkles every day, I will wear sparkles every day. And they are going to be out on show because that's what I like.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Me being able to do that, and I think one of the moments I'm most proud of in my relationship with my daughter is she is the freaking polar opposite. Like polar opposite.
Yeah.
Like she's got green plants like you in her bedroom. And
she does.
She does. And she likes little old lady things, and she has cups of tea, and she goes, oh, isn't that lovely? And it sounds like I'm making fun of her. I'm absolutely not.
No.
Pretty, and she's into pretty things. And she got this beautiful vintage Christian Dior dressing gown for her birthday, and it's white and silk, and it's got these shoulder pads. I wouldn't be seen dead in it. I've got a gold sequined one. She loves it. She's like, oh, I'm going to wear this everywhere. So her seeing me being able to be my true self has given her at just 17, and she's like, I don't want to wear those tight satin cut bias frocks that all the girls are wearing with their boobs out. No. I want to wear the little tartan skirt and the white shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
And she doesn't care. And I'm like, oh, that is such a gift.
It's such a gift.
That when we can do this journey, no matter how late we get to it, if we're doing it early enough for our kids to see it, that's magic.
Yeah.
Absolute magic.
Yeah, I agree. I think the invitation, it comes back to something that I say again and again when I'm writing anything about the vision that I have for myself and my business is healed and healing women help heal the world. And that's what I mean. It's healing our relationship with ourselves, which then ripples out into our daughters and our sons and our parents and our whatever, like all of the, because if we unapologetically say this is who we are, it literally gives other people permission, not that they need our permission, but it's like this invitation to rise the fuck up. Like, you know, if I can do it, you can do it too. And to me, especially giving our daughters at such a young age, like imagine what is possible for her given that frame of herself rather than having to go through 30 years. Yeah. This is what I like, and maybe tomorrow it'll be different, and that's cool too, but this is what so good, Sam, so good. All right, let's bring...
I love what you said then about invitation rather than permission. I love that.
Yeah, invitation, yes. Yeah, I hate permission because, again, it says like the approval comes from outside of yourself, and it's like, no, you're the decider, you're the creator. You can actually step up.
No one's given us that bit of paper.
No, And also, I was thinking about Mel Robbins, that no one is coming. It's like, no, literally no one is coming to save you. You have got to save yourself.
I did a TikTok about that today, actually.
Did you?
It's all on us. No one gives us permission, and no one's coming to fix it.
Yeah, exactly. So let's tie this all together with how has your own journey through the numb years out the other side becoming unapologetically more and more yourself, and that will continue to unfold obviously through your 5 point and 6 points and 7 points and beyond. will 100 be 10.0? Oh, that's pretty cool. I like 10.0.
let's put it in our calendars. We'll catch up.
Moving on.
Does that Google calendar even go that far?
I don't know.
I'm going to have to now.
I'm going to have to check.
That is an ADHD thing.
Yes, it is.
I've just gone. I want to go now find out whether I can get a Google calendar for the year 2074.
Can you send me an invite if you can? You go find out, because I was literally just about to go to my Google calendar in the middle of our interview, which is totally not what I'm going to do, but that's what my ADHD brain wants me to do. All right, so you've gone through the numb years, you've come out the other side, you're constantly refining and stepping into full Sam, the whole Sam, the truest version of you, moment to moment. How does that inform what you do in your business and what you're able to, I guess, like shine the light on for other women?
So my key thing is, I write it every day, is I entertain, educate, and empower thousands of people around the world, every day. That's what I do.
Juicy.
And I do that through my coaching, content, speaking, all that kind of stuff. And it comes down to even like doing a dinner party or at my daughter's school. Like, it is just who I am. Like, it's someone once said, and it was a Bumble date, actually, Bumble conversation. Someone said, if you were the love child of two people, who would it be? And it was like, to be Tony Robbins and Bette Midler.
Oh, that's so true. I'm going to write that down. That's going on the show notes.
It would be a total no-brainer, Tony Robbins and Bette Midler. And it is literally, no matter what I've done in life, I've always either entertained, educated, or empowered. Even if I was being an accountant, even if I was on the PNC, there's always that's what I say when you know what you're here to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was clear to me from year dot. First solo at 6. I'd be sitting on a piano singing a love song, tearing up a love letter and telling the people in the audience that they didn't need to put up with crap from someone who cheated on them. I was giving a personal development seminar at 17. I just didn't know it.
Amazing.
So it will always be what I do. It may not always look the same, but my life will always involve, on a personal level and a financial level, those three things. Always. And that I know.
Beautiful. Oh, so many threads. So what I'm hearing is such a journey through numbness to full expression. And that's such, I really, really want people to hear that message. If you say you don't know what you're here to do, Sam and I both think you're telling porcupines, and that you actually do. You do know the thread, you do know the pull, the call, the whatever you call it, the purpose, the whatever. And that doesn't mean that it has to be something freaking grand either. It can be simple and beautiful and,
Totally. My family have a bar, and thankfully I didn't go in as a partner because more money. But they quite often get me to go in when they've got events and things.
Yes.
Now, it's not my business. I'm not getting paid when I go in to do that. I'm going there because I care about them and I love them and I want their business to be successful. And I go in and I'm like, welcome everyone. I'm like, come on in, this is my family place. So it's not even my job, but I'm entertaining people. And I'm educating them on what's on the menu.
Inspiring.
And it's just, and if your thing is a caring thing, like you might be doing that by taking food to a charity on a weekend. It might be the way you pack your kids' lunch in the morning. if you're an educator, it might not be that you're a teacher. It might be that you're the one in your group of friends that always comes to when they need to know something or they want to ask for advice. There's but I encourage all my clients, and I get them to do what I call a creed of, who they are and what they stand for.
Nice.
And I think we can all do that. And I think I like the 3 thing, although I don't like the number 3, but I use the entertain, educate, and empower thing.
Yes.
For other people, it might be completely different, but we know it. We can all hold on to a couple of words that, regardless of what they're dressed up in as a business, if I was a real estate agent, I'd be entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just who I am. So we know that if we can know those words about what we are and who we are, the rest is just like window dressing.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I want to help people, and I have a very clear vision about what my net worth is going to be at a certain time and how many people I want to help and all that kind of thing. But that's the details.
Yes. Yeah.
If I wake up every day knowing I entertain, educate, and empower, it doesn't matter whether it was one person in the coffee shop when I said hello or it was 400 people that watched the video.
Yeah,
irrelevantly.
Such a good reminder because, I think we can get too, I don't know, I think we overcomplicate things. This is what I'm realizing at this point in my life. It's like, it's really fucking
And you
simple.
have to email me with your 3 words.
I just wrote down joy, freedom, and radiance because that's my jam. That's my jam. I'm literally marinating in a vortex of joy and that magnetism that comes from just being who you are and putting out what you want in the world. It's like what is calling me is that, you don't have to play stuck or small or safe or any of that heavy shit that we've been conditioned to think, or, a lot of us have been conditioned to think. Joy and freedom for me, that's like my number one. if you got me to pick one value in the entire world, freedom would be my top of the list. And you're going to send me a calendar invite.
I am, for 2074, 15th of June 2074.
Okay, I'm going to look out for it. I'm going to put in the show notes.
If it is there, if it's there, honestly, Google a genius. Seriously.
I'm so tempted to do that while we're recording, but I'm not going to. It has been an absolute freaking honor. I love you to bits. I love your energy, and I love all of the gold and the Tony Robbins crossed with Bette Midler juice that you've just shared.
I will never forget it,
I will put in the show notes how to find you, but just for people that are listening in, where can people find Sam Leith on the interwebs?
On the interwebs, I'm Samantha Leith everywhere, and I don't have a speech problem. It is Leith.
Yes.
And I think it's about 6 weeks. I'm launching a new community-based personal development vortex for the club. So get on the lookout for that.
All right. So connect with
personal development a little more accessible for the masses rather than thinking they've got to spend $15,000 to work with a guru.
Amen, sister. Amen, sister. Sam Leith, thank you so much. You and your fabulous green top and swingy earrings that have been mesmerizing me the whole of the last hour. So we will mention everything in the show notes. I'm going to include whether the Google Calendar does go that far in advance for anyone who is curious. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Love that. Thank you so much, Kylie. Love what you're doing. I'm so glad you've done this podcast.
Thank you. Well, there you have it, beautiful one. Another inspirational episode. And thank you so much to our guest from today for sharing their journey and leap of faith. So many takeaways, as always. I would love to know what your favorite thing that we discussed or that hit you between the eyeballs to invite you into your own expansion or leap of faith was. Share it on Instagram or Facebook. You'll find me at Kylie Patchett. And I would love it and be so honored if you take the time to leave a review on any of your favorite podcast platforms about this show or the podcast in general. And finally, if you have someone in your life who is another midlife maven who may just need some reminding that she is a powerful, magnetic, amazing woman and that she absolutely deserves the life that she craves, please share us. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.